Hey guys, it is Sequoia with the Chase Street Renaissance. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Okay, it's been 2 weeks. I told myself I was going to try to upload 2 to 3 times a week. I mean, things happen. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I seal my jars. A few people have asked me what type of sealer I use and how I seal my jars. It's super easy, super quick process. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So we're going to cue my beautiful intro and get right into it. Okay, so the sealer that I'm going to use is, or the sealer that I do use is from Earth Safe Finishes. I'll leave a link in the description box below, of course. It's a preserver / sealer, no VOC, water-based, non-toxic, no heavy metals, made in the USA. This is an 8-ounce bottle, and it's lasted me quite a while. So I just wanted to look it up and see what it actually meant because I was not sure, I'm not gonna lie to you. And it stands for volatile organic compounds. So this does not have that in it. It says volatile organic compounds are a large group of chemicals that are found in many products we use to build and maintain our homes. Once these chemicals are in our homes, they are released or off gas into the indoor air we breathe. I'm assuming that's not ideal, but when it comes to candle making and sealing your jars, you don't have to worry about that with your sealer. So it's in our homes, we can't control that, but we can control what's in our products with our candles and things that we push out to our consumers, right? So you don't have to worry about that in this specific sealer from this company. I can't recommend other sealers for you. I haven't done any research on any other sealers. I haven't compared any other sealers to this one. I only know this one, and I know how this one works, and it works beautifully when it comes to sealing the insides of your jars. So my iPad, look, ain't it cute? Cute. Okay. So now that we know what it has and what it doesn't, it's a super quick process. Actually, before I open it, I do give it a little bit of a shake because I noticed that around the sides of the jar, when you open it up, it seems to, I guess because maybe it's water-based, it seems to have some separation. That's just something I've noticed. So what I'm gonna use is a sponge like this. I got these from Hobby Lobby. I think at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It came in a pack of 12 for $2.99, so you can get these at Hobby Lobby. I'm sure you can probably get them at the dollar store, but I thought that was a really good price. So I just take my brush, and what jar are we gonna seal? All of these here that are wicked and with the stabilizing tools have already been sealed twice. So what you want to do is do one coat, let that dry for a few hours. I let it dry for a few hours. I don't do 24 hours. And then I do a second coat and let that dry pretty much overnight. So the first coat I don't let dry for 24 hours. However, and it doesn't say specifically on the directions that you have to let it dry for any specific amount of time. It just says apply with a brush or sponge. Make sure entire surface is covered, let dry, maybe lightly sanded, cleans up with soap and water. And I'll talk about how I don't think that that's necessarily true and what stage it's more ideal to clean it up with soap and water. But let's just seal the jar first. Okay, so I'm just gonna do one coat on this jar, and I believe this one is waiting on a second coat. So I take my sponge, I just dip it in. And what I'll do is I'll brush up around the edges. I'm gonna try to get it so you can see this clearly. So you see how where I've painted, it looks like it's wet now. And where I haven't painted, it looks like it's still dry. That's how you're gonna tell if you've covered that area or not. So let's say I'm brushing up. Okay, so I've painted inside my entire jar, and you can see how it looks like each area for the most part looks wet. Disregard that blob there. I left that just because I wanted you guys to see what I was talking about. But you see that area right there that still looks like it's untouched and still looks like it's dry? That's how you're gonna know if you've covered all your areas, because once you go to seal your jar, it's going to look wet. It's going to look like you painted something over it. So if you miss a spot, it's gonna look like that. So just make sure you're being careful, because that's a potential area for your wax to leak through, and you're gonna tell on the other side of the jar. So that's what this sealer is for, so that when you go to pour your wax into your candle, it doesn't soak through and leak through your cement, because it will happen. So I'm gonna finish painting the rest of this, and I'm just gonna speed it up. Okay, so there it is. All my areas look wet. They look like they've been touched by with the sealer. And another thing that I do is I kind of go around the edge here, just because I like how it looks. I like the shininess of it around the edge of the jar. So I'll just do one of those and let that dry. And there you have it. That's your first coat. You're gonna let it dry. It's gonna end up drying and looking like that, nice and shiny. Then you're gonna go in with a second coat and do the exact same thing. If you made sure that you covered all of your areas in that first coat, you don't necessarily have to worry too much about, you know, if you miss any areas on your second coat. However, I do recommend that you apply it properly, and that you get an even coat around the entire surface of your jar on the inside. I only seal the insides of my jar. I don't seal the outsides. I do believe that you can seal the outsides with this product, but I don't, because I actually like the matte finish on the outside. So like I said a little bit earlier, it says cleans up with soap and water. Now, that is true. If I were to take this paintbrush and run it under some water right now and kind of squeeze it and get everything out, it comes right out. I don't actually even need soap to get it out of the sponge. However, if I let this dry, 100% dry, completely hardened, it is not coming out of this brush. It is not cleaning up with soap and water. So I think when they mean cleans up with soap and water, they mean before it's completely dry, because I have wasted 3 sponges because I let them sit and let them completely dry, and I had to throw them out because they were hard and I couldn't